We use the count function to get a number of entries in a number field that is in a range or array of numbers. Getting the number of entries in a range of cells is more practicable when the data is vast, like there are many lines, there are many uh, informations that we have to sort out. We have four different types. We have the count, the counter, the COUNTIF, and the COUNTIFs. The count, let's make a difference between all of them, then we'll go into using it. Count gets the number of cells which contains numbers or figures. If we have this set of data and we have, for example, education, we have annual purchases, we can't use count to count the number of cells which contains data for education. We can use it uniquely for cell ranges which has values like 1, 2, 3 of sales amounts, this kind of thing. So this is the function of the count function. It counts the number of cells which has data. It means if it's to count in this range of values, this one that does not have data will not be taken into consideration. So it will count the number of cells which do have data. The counter function does same, but it counts the number of non-empty cells. So irrespective of whether they are just figures or they are letters or they are phrases or whatsoever, it counts the number of non-empty cells. The COUNTIF counts with condition, like taking into consideration some criteria, just one criteria though, and the COUNTIFs function takes into consideration multiple criteria. So we are going to see how to use it directly. So we'll start with the count function, number of cells that contain numbers. So we take equal to, we type count, and we are going to use it to count the number of cells in this our annual purchase range which has values. So I select this and I press enter. So if we come here, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So there are 10 cells which contains numbers. We get to the counter, we say equal to counter, and we select the same area, and you will see give the 10, telling us that there are 10 out of 11 cells which contains non-empty or which are non-empty cells. If, for example, for the count function, instead of using this range of values which contains figures, I use, for example, data type for universities which are just letters, what will happen? If I select instead this area, you will see it will give us 0, telling us that there is no cell in this range of cells containing figures. But if I do that with the counter function, selecting this, you will see it will count 11 cells containing information, meaning cells which are non-empty. So you see the counter can go for both letters and figures, but the count is uniquely for figures. So I'm going to take it back here. Okay, the COUNTIF function helps us to count based on some particular criteria, like just one criteria. So if I say equal to COUNTIF without s, so they will ask for the range or the range of values I want to count. So I'm going to select this range of values. Then the next option after the semicolon, they will ask for the criteria. So should in case I want to count in this range of cells annual purchases greater than, for example, $1,000, I'll come here and I'll say, start by putting it in inverted commas open, and I will say greater than 1,000. So it is going to count the number of cells which contains figures which are greater than $1,000. So when I get this, I close bracket and I take enter. You will see that there is this 1, 2, 3 values which are less than 7 or 1,000, and the rest is greater than 1,000. So it's counting 7, which is logical. Here we had 10 and 3 of them are actually less than 1,000. The COUNTIF with S takes into consideration more than one criteria. Let's get to it. If we say COUNTIF with S, you'll see the first criteria range. The first criteria range, for example, we will say we want to count the number of annual purchases with criteria having greater than 1,000, So I put it in inverted commas open and close. I close it. So that's the first criteria or the first condition. So I can get into another criteria. You see a criteria range 2. So I want to count the annual purchases which are greater than $1,000 and equally with the education level being university. So how do I do that? I get to the second criteria range, I take university. Semicolon, I write university. So here it is going to count the annual purchases with greater than $1,000 and the education level being university. So when I take enter, there are 6 annual purchases which are greater than 1,000 and are from the university as level of education. We can look at it. Here we have university 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it didn't take into consideration high school, it didn't take into consideration none. So that was summing or looking for the number of cells that contains information with many criteria. Thanks for watching. Get to you in the next video.